It's me, Jackie. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining in. If you are coming back, so glad to see you again. Glad you're here with us. And today we're going to do another TBR jar video. So this is for July. I've just come back from a vacation, been gone about 10 days, trying to get back in the swing of like reality, although I don't want to, and I still have another day after today before I have to actually go back into reality. So I thought part of that fun could be picking my TBR for the new month since it starts on Tuesday. So I've got my handy dandy jar here, and so the standard I do is I pick 10 books that I could read because I don't like a to-do list when it comes. I love a to-do list for everything else, but not my reading, because then it feels like an assignment or homework, and I don't want to do it. So I'm going to pick 10, and then after I do that, I might pick another 3 or 4 of ones that I've been really wanting to read, just to have those in the lineup to see if I can choose from that group. So because this whole bookcase is overwhelming, so I need to narrow it down somewhere. So let's start with our first prompt. And all right, we have, let's see, there we go. A book by an author you've already read. Okay, this is glorious. This could be so many different things. So let me pull a few options and then I'll be right back. So I have come back with some options. I have 5 options. So first is Twisted Games by Anna Wong. I've previously read, what's the first one? Twisted Love. In this series, this is one that so many people talk about being their absolute favorite. It is Bodyguard. Princess and Bodyguard. So that's one option. I'll read the back if we decide to read it. So that's one. Olivia Dade, All the Feels. I read the first book in this series, which was spoiler alert, which I absolutely loved. It had so many things that I love in it. And so I might do this one. I could start the Throne of Glass series because I have read SJM before, as I've read ACOTAR, obviously. So I've talked about that before. So there's that. Then I have J.T. Ellison, Tear Me Apart. I've read several of her standalone thrillers, plus a couple of her series. She had like procedural type series before. So this is one. So that's a thriller. So I've got 2 romance, fantasy, and now a thriller. And then this one I think is kind of a mystery with comedy, Killers of a Certain Age by Deanna Raybourn. I have read the first book in her series, and now I'm trying to remember the name of the series. Maybe it'll tell me in this book. The Veronica Speedwell Mystery. She's got several series, as you see in the front of the book, but she has the Veronica Speedwell Mystery series. I read the first one, A Curious Beginning. So all of these are authors that I've read before. So I have a mystery, a thriller, a fantasy, romantasy, and 2 romances. One is like a Richie Rich, like I guess kind of billionaire type romance. I know some of those in their series are in the Anna Wong Twisted series. And then Olivia Dade. I believe that one's going to be like an actor and some sort of therapist. I'm not sure what kind of therapist, but anyway, just in glancing at the back, looks like I started this one. I just found a bookmark in it. I started All the Feels at one point. I didn't even realize that was in there. All right, so am I in the mood for a romance, thriller, or I just don't think I'm ready to start Throne of Glass. There are so many other like trilogies, duologies and trilogies that I want to read before I jump into a whole brand new series. So I'm going to knock out Throne of Glass. I know there's one other romance book that I definitely want to read this month because I'm going to buddy read it with my bestie Macy. And that's going to be the first book in the Gold Rush Ranch series by Elsie Silver. And I can't remember the name of that one. So that's also an author I've read before. I could count that one. And then, yeah, what do I want to do? I think I'm going to pick Killers of a Certain Age. I know there is a sequel that is out to this, which I'm curious about reading. So I think I want to do this one. This reminds me kind of the movie Red in the description. So let me read you the description. They've spent their lives as the deadliest assassins in a clandestine international organization. But now that they're 60 years old, 4 female friends can't just retire. It's kill or be killed in this action-packed thriller by best-selling and Edgar Award-nominated author Deanna Raybourn. Billy, Mary Alice, Helen, and Natalie have worked for the museum, an elite network of assassins, for 40 years. Now their talents are considered old school, and no one appreciates what they have to offer in an age that relies more on technology than people skills. When the foursome is sent on an all-expenses-paid vacation to mark their retirement, they are targeted by one of their own. Only the board, the top-level members of the museum, can order the termination of field agents, and the women realize they've been marked for death. Now, to get out alive, they have to turn against their own organization, relying on experience and one another to get the job done, knowing that working together is the secret to their survival. They're about to teach the board what it really means to be a woman and a killer of a certain age. Okay, yeah. So yeah, this sounds good. All right, we're going to start our first book, a book by an author you've already read, Killers of a Certain Age by Deanna Raybourn. So, that's book number 1. Let's go for book number 2. And I need to speed things up a little bit or we're going to be here all day again. A book you bought because of the cover. A book you bought because of the cover. That's going to be a little bit harder to find, I think, because I'm not typically one that buys by what a book looks like. But let me take a look and see what I can find, and I'll be right back. Okay, I am back, and I have 3. I have Blood Guard by Ceci Robson. I have The Wren in the Holly Library by K.A. Lind. And I have A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. So all 3 of these, I'll admit, it was a combination of cover and sprayed edges because all of them are really pretty. I think I'm going to go on and knock this one out for a couple of reasons. One, I bought it after I bought A Fate Inked in Blood. And then I'm more interested in the story of both of these than that one for now. I want to read all of them, obviously, or I wouldn't have bought them. But I think I'm going to try to help myself narrow down, I'm going to leave it between A Fate Inked in Blood and Blood Guard. Alright, so both talk about blood. I think I want to do A Fate Inked in Blood because it is book 1. I think it's just a duology. I can't swear to that. It's Norse mythology inspired, and I mean the cover is beautiful, and the second one, I've got the sequel as well, and I'm really looking forward to reading both of these. So I think this option for a book that you bought based on the cover. So I think that's our second book, and I don't know where that little prompt has gone to. I might have shooed it off of my table. I can't find it. Oh, there it is. I'll pick it up and put it in there later. Okay, book 3. Okay, book 3. Hold it up for you guys to see it first. Whoops. A book by an author with the same last initial as you. So my last name is Linkus, so that's going to be an L. So I need an author whose last name starts with L. All right, I'm looking to make sure. Ooh, okay, so we already have one option out here. The Wren in the Holly Library by K.A. Lind. Let me go see what else I can find, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm pretty excited about this stack because this has got a lot of books, genres that I don't read very often. So that's kind of exciting. We already talked about The Wren in the Holly Library by K.A. Lind. Also have The Teller of Small Fortunes by Julie Leong. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce her name. This cover is also really pretty, and I've heard a lot of people talk about this being really big on found family, kind of a cozy type fantasy, so that's one that's interesting to me. I have Portrait of a Thief by Grace D. Lee. So this is a heist novel, so it's kind of a mystery heist type story. It is literary fiction. I think it's considered literary fiction. and it is based in Japan. I'm 90% sure. Let me make sure. I am not. No, I'm sorry. I was incorrect. It is in China. So this is all about Chinese artifacts and that sort of thing. I also have started this one, but I didn't make it all the way through. Although I was very interested in it. It was one of those situations where right book, wrong time. So there we go. We're gonna put that one there. Then I have The Wilder Women by Ruth Emmy Lang. So this was a book of the month pick. Let's see. It is from November of 2022. So that one's been a minute. So there's that. And then I have The Frozen River by Ariel Lawhon. I've been wanting to read this for a while. I'm a little nervous about it. One of my besties, Lindsay, read it and said I need to make sure I am ready for feminine rage. And to be for me to have feminine rage based on what happens in this book. So that is something to consider, but I think I'm in an okay headspace for that. So right now I have a mystery and a fantasy on my shelf. So I have 2 other fantasies and 3 literary. This one can be considered historical as well. I believe I have Portrait of a Thief on audio, so I could tandem read it. I think I'm going to go ahead and put out The Teller of Small Fortunes. I'm not really in the mood for like cozy kind of fantasy, even though I think I'll probably really enjoy it. And I think I'll also pull out The Wilder Women for right now. So that leaves Frozen River, The Wren and the Holly Library, or Portrait of a Thief. I think I'm going to choose The Frozen River because I've been wanting to read this for so long. My mom got it for me for Christmas, I guess a couple of years ago. And I've been looking forward to reading it. Been putting off because I know it's going to be a heavy subject matter. So let me read you the synopsis of this. Maine, 1789. When the Kennebec River freezes, entombing a man in the ice, Martha Ballard is summoned to examine the body and determine cause of death. As a midwife and healer, she is privy to much of what goes on behind closed doors in Hallowell. Her diary is a record of every birth and death, crime and debacle that unfolds in the close-knit community. Months earlier, Martha documented the details of an alleged rape committed by 2 of the town's most respected gentlemen, one of whom has now been found dead in the ice. But when a local physician undermines her conclusion, declaring the death to be an accident, Martha is forced to investigate the shocking murder on her own. Over the course of one winter, as the trial nears and whispers and prejudices mount, Martha doggedly pursues the truth. Her diary soon lands at the center of the scandal, implicating those she loves and compelling Martha to decide where her own loyalties lie. Clever, layered, and subversive, Ariel Lawhon's newest offering introduces an unsung heroine who refused to accept anything less than justice at a time when women were considered best seen and not heard. The Frozen River is a thrilling, tense, and tender story about a remarkable woman who left an unparalleled legacy, yet remains nearly forgotten to this day. So Martha Ballard is a real person. Ariel writes historical biographical fiction. That's what I was looking for. So all of her characters are either real or are based on real people. So for example, the other book I've read of hers is Codename Helene, which I highly recommend. Very good book about Nancy Wake, who was a spy during World War II and was at one point at the top of the Nazis' wanted list. The White Mouse was what she was known as. So anyway, so this is about Martha Ballard, who was a midwife in the 1700s, and from my understanding, she never lost a mother in childbirth, which at this day and age was a miracle. So that is going to be a book by an author with the same last initial as you. So we've got Ariel Lawhon, which, I've been wanting to read that one a while, but I'm also a little bit worried about it. Okay, book 4. We got to get trucking, y'all. I always take forever with these, but I got to talk about the books or it's no fun. What's the point if we don't talk about books? Reread a favorite. Oh, this makes me so happy. Okay, so rereading. I'm going to need to go over to my other bookcase on that side because that has the books I've already read. So let me go find the one I want to reread, or some options, and I'll bring them back. I'll be right back. So, I acted like I was going to pick some options, but as soon as I walked over there, I knew what I was going to pick. It's Whispering Rock by Robin Carr. I'm not sure how well you can see that. So this is the third book in the Virgin River series by Robin Carr. It's now, as you see on here, a Netflix series. I did not enjoy what I watched of the series because it's so different from the book, or from the books, and so I didn't love it. If you love the series, just know going into the books, things happen differently than what happens in the series. But this is the third book. This is Mike and Bree. This might be my favorite of the three books. So let me read the back. Virgin River became a safe haven for Sacramento prosecutor Bree Sheridan after she... you know what? I'm not going to read the back because it spoils things from the first two books. So perhaps I should not. Yeah, so I'm just going to say it's Mike and Bree's story. Bree is Jack Sheridan's baby sister. So Jack is the main male character in the first book. And Mike Valenzuela was an LAPD officer. We'll just leave it at that. And he used to be in the same military unit as Jack and several other characters that you meet in these books. So this is one of my all-time favorite books. I've read it 3 or 4 times. I absolutely love it. And so I'm excited to dive into this one because I love it and know it, and it's going to just make my heart happy to reread. So book 4, reread a favorite, is Whispering Rock by Robin Carr. All right, book 5. This will be halfway. Okay, we just have one. All right, let me hold it up for y'all first. Whoops. A book inspired by mythology. Well, A Fate Inked in Blood would have been perfect for that one because it's Norse mythology. All right, a book inspired by mythology. I'm definitely going to have to take a look on this one and see what I can find in my collection, if I have anything. So let me go take a look, and I will be back in a minute. Unfortunately, I do not currently have any other books that are inspired by mythology that I can find. So I'm going to set this one aside for now. We're going to pick a different prompt and hope we have better luck. So let's try again for book 5. Okay. Hopefully this one will work out better. A sad book. Oh boy. A sad book. Okay, well, I know what I want to put on my, I want to put Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. I've been trying to read this book for months. I want to read it. I keep picking it and then just not getting to it. So I am kind of determined that we're going to get to this. So a sad book, Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. I really want to read that. Okay, that went quickly. Let's do book 6. Okay. All right, this is one. Ooh, that was kind of loud. Book with a black cover. Book with a black cover. All right, let me pick a few and I shall return. Okay, I came back with 3 options. So first, I have Praise by Sarah Kate. So that's going to be a romance, a little bit on the erotic side, maybe considered a bit darkish. I don't know if it's really considered dark, but this one, Praise, you can kind of figure out what the kink might be. Yeah, so that's that one. So this one's going to be a schmexy book, which can always be fun. And I know it's not all black, but like everything else is black except for the pink that takes up a good chunk of the cover. But I think that counts. Second one I have is The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. So this is the first in a series. This one also is the first in a series. It's the first in the Salacious Players Club series. This is the first in the Natural series. This is supposed to be a YA Criminal Minds type book. So this is, yeah, which I love Criminal Minds. Love me some Criminal Minds. And I recently read another YA book that is very similar to Criminal Minds called None Shall Sleep. And I think that's going to be in my June wrap-up. I think I read it in June. Y'all, days, weeks, months blend together. So The Naturals is the second one. And the third one I have is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. This is one that I've had on my I really want to try it list for, well, it's been on my mind since I first started seeing it on TikTok, probably a couple years ago. And I'm very intrigued by this and the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. And a lot of people say you should read this one first. And if something is a suggested reading order, I tend to go with what seems to be the most popular reading order. Because I like to follow the rules. Yeah, I like to follow the rules. So that's Caraval. So we've got these three options. And I'm looking at what I have. And I only have one fantasy romantasy. So I think I'm going to pick Caraval. Because I only have a Fate Inked in Blood. So I'm super excited. I hoped I can jump into this one this month. I would really like to read it. Yeah, so we're going to do that. Yeah, so we're going to put Caraval. So that's 2, 4, 6. That's 6 books. All right, let's go for number 7. Let's go for number 7. All right. Try not to set it down so loudly. A book with the word lucky in the title. I literally don't think I have any books with lucky in the title. Yeah, I just don't know. I don't have one. Okay, so we're going to set that one aside. I don't know where I got that prompt, but I don't have any books that fall into it, so. All right, let's try again. So book 7, a happy book. Oh, we like happy. A happy book. What's a happy book? Okay, let me think about this one a little bit, see what I can come up with, and I'll bring back some options for us to choose from. So I was really hoping this would be easy, but I really can't decide what a happy book might be. Like, romance ends up happy, but it doesn't start that way. I don't know. I think I'm going to pass on this one because I don't know. So let's pick a different one. This is not going all that well, is it, y'all? Okay, let's try this one. I got things trying to fly out with it. A book with a person on the cover. All right, a person on the cover. All right, let me go find some. Be right back. Okay, I have gotten 4. At first I started pulling books that had a person on the cover, and then I realized it does say, it does say a person. Whoops. A person. Okay, all right, so since it says a person, let's go back to what I mean, these are all a person, too. It just happens to have more than one a person. So let's just go with these because I don't want to go back and pull out others. So I've got Romancing Mr. Bridgerton by Julia Quinn. This is Penelope and Colin's story, which I think is the 3rd season of Bridgerton. I believe is what this is what season 3 is based on. Words, y'all. I have A Gentleman Never Keeps Score by Kat Sebastian. So they write mostly male-male romances, I believe. And I've read the first one in this series, which was called It Takes Two to Tumble. Yeah, It Takes Two to Tumble. So this is A Gentleman Never Keeps Score. And there's a 3rd book in the series as well that I will just need. Hold on. Sorry. There's a 3rd in the series that I will need to pick up once I read this one. I pulled back All the Feels by Olivia Dade again because it has the illustrated cover. And then Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey has an illustrated cover. So with a couple on it. But I really think I'm going to go for A Gentleman Never Keeps Score. I've got a romance on here, but I like the idea of adding a male romance. I know we're coming out of Pride Month, but you know, there's no reason we can't Pride Month it all year long. So, a book with a person on the cover. I'm going to do A Gentleman Never Keeps Score by Cat Sebastian. So that's that one. All right. Stack those back up. So we have 2, 4, 6, 7. All right, so book 8. Book 8. The shortest book on your TBR. The shortest book on your TBR. All right, I'm excited about this one. It's called The Secrets of Adulthood by Gretchen Rubin. She is one of my favorite nonfiction authors, and I also love her podcast. She is the author of The Happiness Project, Happier at Home, Better Than Before, Outer Order, Inner Calm, Life in 5 Sentences? Life in the 5... Something like that. Something about the 5 senses. But this is her newest book, The Secrets of Adulthood. It just came out a couple of months ago, I guess. And so I've had it, and I've been trying to figure out how to get to it. And this is the perfect time to get to it. It is 157 pages. There's no way I have anything shorter than that. So, shortest book on my TBR is The Secrets of Adulthood by Gretchen Rubin. All right, so it's book 8, right? 2, 4, 6, 8. 2 more to pick. This is shaping up to be really happy TBR. A book with the prettiest cover. A book with the prettiest cover. I think I know exactly what I'm going to pick because I do love this cover. The Rose Bargain. I wanted to read this in June, did not get to it. So I am going to put it on my July TBR as a book with the prettiest cover because I do adore this cover. The end, I like the end papers too. I think those, it's just really pretty. All right, so The Rose Bargain by Sasha Payton Smith. And then we've got one more to pick. And I have a kitty cat who wants this chair back. He likes to lay in this chair when I'm not in it filming. So I think he wants his chair back. The last one. The title that starts with the first letter of your name. Title that starts with the first letter of my name. So first letter of my name is Jackie. That's first letter of my first name is Jackie. So the first letter is J. So I need to find a title that starts with J. That could be an adventure. Let me go see what I can find, and then we'll look through it and choose. All right, this one was tough. I only have one, and it's Joyful by Ingrid Fettel-Lee. So this is the surprising power of ordinary things to create extraordinary happiness. Oh, you know, this would have always also gone with happy, with a happy book. But I didn't think about looking at my nonfiction, to be quite honest. So we've got Joyful. Number 10 is Joyful by Ingrid Fettel-Lee. So that is 10 books for my July TBR. So we will go over them quickly. We have Killers of a Certain Age by Deanna Raybourn, which is a book by an author I've already read. Number 2, a book you chose for the cover, A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. A book with the author having the same letter starting their last name as me. That's The Frozen River by Ariel Lawhon. A reread of favorites. That's Whispering Rock by Robin Carr. A sad book, Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. A book with black cover, Caraval by Stephanie Garber. Let's see, what one was this one again? Oh, a book with a person on the cover, A Gentleman Never Keeps Score by Cat Sebastian. Shortest book on my TBR is Secrets of Adulthood by Gretchen Rubin. Prettiest cover, The Rose Bargain by Sasha Payton Smith. And a title that starts with the first letter of my first name. And that's Joyful by Ingrid Fettel-Lee. So I had said I was going to pick a few others that I know that I would like to have to choose from. So I think I will do 5, because why not, right? Let's have 5 more books to add to the TBR. So the first one is going to be, and I'll put it up here, is the first book in the Gold Rush Ranch series by Elsie Silver. It might be a photo finish, but I'm not sure if that's the right one. So I'll put the first one here once I go find the cover. So I think that's going to be one I want to add. I think the second one I want to add is The Artist's Way. Here, it's a library book by Julia Cameron. So this is a spiritual path to higher creativity. I've been wanting to do this. My bestie Lindsay has been working through this book, and I want to do the same thing. So that's 2. The third one is another one I have had on my TBR since it came out, I think in May, and it's We Can Do Hard Things. Oh, that's which says Answers to Life's 20 Questions, and that's by Glennon Doyle, Abby Wambach, and Amanda Doyle. They have a podcast by the same name, and if you've read Untamed by Glennon Doyle, you know the We Can Do Hard Things, the meaning behind We Can Do Hard Things. So that is 3. So that's easy. Like, those are ones that I've known I want to read, and this way I'm officially putting them on my TBR. So that's 3. So now I want to pick 2 more to go with that. So let me go find the 2 extras that I want to add, and I'll be right back. Okay, that was pretty easy. I grabbed the first 2 that came to mind that I also want to read, and we'll see which ones I get to. So the first one is Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. I've been wanting to read this, and that cover is just a delight. So that's one that I have been considering reading soon. And the next is Murder in Red, a Murder, She Wrote book by Jessica Fletcher and John Land. So I have been reading these books, I would say, for decades now. There's like 58 of them or something out now. This TV show was one of the things I watched with my mom growing up. I have a lot of great memories. I think it's one of the things that continued me along in my love of mysteries after Nancy Drew and Trixie Belden, Hardy Boys, all of that stuff. It was like that next stage. I'm not sure it was the best show to watch as a child, but you know what? It's cozy, so there wasn't like a lot of blood and gore. It was more about solving the mystery or the puzzle. So that's what I have 6 of these paperbacks that I want to get through to continue me through that series. I'm not even sure which number this is, but it's number 40 or 50 something. So that's number, I guess, total of 15. So I have added The Artist's Way, We Can Do Hard Things, Phantasma, Murder, She Wrote, and the first book in the Gold Rush Ranch series by Elsie Silver. Again, that'll go up in the corner. So I think that's it. That's a ton. I've been filming longer than I had planned, as usual. That's how it rolls. But I'm super excited about this TBR. There are a ton of books on here that I want to read. I am hoping that July will be a much better reading month. June was not great. I think I got through 3 books in June. And that's all. Although I might can get through one in the next couple days. We'll see. Because it's the 28th. It's the 28th. So I have 2 days left in the month after today. And it's like 6 o'clock today. So it's like mostly the day's gone. So yeah, so I'm super excited about my July TBR. I will soon be filming my June wrap up as soon as I get through to Monday. Because I want to give myself a couple of days in case I read another book. So I may try to start a short one just so I can get through it. To add to the list, maybe an Aaron Scott book is in. I do have one that was on my TBR, scratched off, is on my TBR for June. So maybe I'll read that one. So anyway, that's what we have today. I am excited about reading, and I look forward to hearing what you guys are reading. Put your TBR in the comments, what books you're looking forward to reading in July. I can't wait to see that. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I would appreciate every bit of feedback there and interaction. It makes me super happy. Hope everyone's having a good day or good night, and I hope to see you soon. Bye!